People of the internet, RetroRaconteur here, and in today's video we'll be talking about how I would keep the hype alive for Hogwarts Legacy, because right now, I gotta be honest guys, it feels like it could be dying a little bit. Of course, we didn't get any news at this year's E3 or the SummerGameFest, and I admit it's easy for us as YouTubers and fans to sit back and critique what should have been done or what might have been done, but it's not always so simple on the other side. Today, I want to put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, and actually try and think through what the best marketing tactics would be for a big game like this. Should they be saying anything at all right now? Should they be quiet right now? Should they be doing an all-out marketing blitz? We're going to talk about all of that here today. Okay, so part one here, marketing background. I do have a little bit of experience in marketing and communications with a major company and also have a graduate degree in the field. Now, it's not what I work on now, and I don't want you to think I have some huge, extensive background, but I have studied it and know a little bit about it here. Now, first off here, one thing I can tell you is that the marketing team is almost certainly completely separate from those who are actually working on the game. You see, there's this common critique that I see among fans. Whenever you have one fan who's saying, man, I really want to see more, a screenshot or a new trailer, or I want to see gameplay, whatever it may be, a very popular retort that I see to that is that another fan will come in and say, guys, you're crazy. We can't rush Avalanche. What are you doing? We don't want another Cyberpunk. Seriously, if I have to see that one more time, I might scream. And while I agree, we should not rush the development, those comments don't quite make sense in this context. As I mentioned, the folks in charge of promoting this game probably don't work on the game itself. Instead, you have your advertising agencies, you have PR firms, and WB as the publisher for the game almost certainly has some folks in these roles within their own company. Avalanche probably even has folks who work on these tasks specifically as well. But these are not your game designers or coders or writers. We're in a completely different area here. So if we're talking about getting a few screenshots, tweeting out information, advertising, that sort of thing, it's not going to be taking away time from game development, except for one little issue that we'll talk about here in a bit. But for the most part, this is completely separate. So you guys don't have to worry. Whenever someone says they want to see more of the game, that doesn't mean they want Avalanche to rush and put it out tomorrow. It just means we want to see more. That's it. Now, how these things will usually work is the folks in charge at WB will set up a marketing plan for the game. They'll decide how much money they're going to put into promoting the title, and then they'll task the marketing team with going out and making it happen. The folks in marketing will have regular meetings and conversations with those actually making the game to get an idea of their progress, and also, of course, so they know what's in the game. After all, if they're going to market the title, they'll need to know how it plays, the overall story, etc. Plus, those folks on the inside will have extensive access to research and demographics about both the game, the target audience, things that I don't necessarily have here. So their marketing campaign should end up being a lot better and more targeted than what I'm able to put together here. Pressure's on, WB. So in order to begin the marketing campaign for a game, it's a good idea to know the release date so we can kind of work backward, at least have a fairly narrow release window. Given that all we have right now is 2022, let's just assume, for the sake of our video here today, that Hogwarts Legacy will be releasing around July 2022, which would put it in the same month as Fantastic Beasts 3 hitting theaters. With that target month in mind, that gives us a full year of time for a steady ramp-up marketing campaign. And I think for a game this size, roughly a full year of steady, planned-out promotion and tactics would be ideal. So for phase one of that plan, I would immediately start getting more active on social media, particularly Twitter and Instagram. These could start out as weekly posts of varying types. Some weeks may be a new screenshot or two. Other weeks may be a random fact about the game, and we could even throw in polls here and there as well. The challenge here is you obviously don't want to bombard people with a bunch of irrelevant tweets that no one cares about, but you do want to keep the interest high and provide a steady trickle of quality information. And this doesn't necessarily have to be every single week for the next year, but I think some sort of consistent social media presence would go a long way toward keeping fans engaged and excited. And on the marketing side of things, it's completely free. There's literally no charge other than what you're paying the marketing or PR person to do this. It would only take a little bit of time each week for someone to prepare and send out the posts. Even if you need to hit up the devs for some screenshots, that's something that's not going to take a lot of time for them to do. So if we start getting more active on social media in July 2021, I would be sure to release a steady stream of new screenshots throughout the months of August and September, maybe showing off various creatures that we'll encounter or even some locations that we may visit. Now, with Halloween being such a big moment throughout the Harry Potter series, I think October would be a unique opportunity to reveal a little bit more about the character creator and how it will work in the game. Considering this will almost certainly happen at the opening of the game, I don't think anyone would be too worried about having something like this spoiled. In fact, it might be nice to get an idea of how many options we'll have and what the creator will be like so we can start planning who we want to be when the game releases. Are we going to have beard options, Avalanche? I really need some strong beard options in this game. When November hits, this is our time to really start teasing that full gameplay reveal. I'd ratchet up the social media posts here and maybe even have some sort of interactive scavenger hunt or game for fans to figure out the release date. For the longtime old school Harry Potter fans, you guys remember how much we obsessed over J.K. Rowling's website, The Door? How could anyone forget that door? And now she actually revealed the title for Deathly Hallows through that little online game, among other things that she revealed through the site. If there's one thing you know for sure about Harry Potter fans, it's that we love digging for clues and trying to solve riddles and puzzles. December would put us at about 7 months out, and considering this is also the month for the Game Awards, I think it makes perfect sense to finally show a brand new trailer here with a specific focus on gameplay. Ideally, this would also be a great time to announce the release date. You could possibly follow this up with another PlayStation blog post similar to what they did after the initial reveal trailer. Now, when it comes to the trailer, this is the point that would require some work on the side of the developers at Avalanche. So in the opening, we talked about how this is completely separate here. We've got our PR guys, we've got our marketing guys. They're focused on the promotion of the game. However, to build something like a trailer, at that point, you are going to need some of those cinematics folks from over at Avalanche to help create that trailer. So at this point, you can make a pretty strong argument that this would actually pull people from working on the game to create this trailer. I think it's worth it. I think they have to have another trailer. I've actually heard horror stories about devs prepping for big trailers for E3 when they have almost nothing ready to show. So this is the point where I hear you when you say don't rush Avalanche. Of course, you want to make sure that they have ample time to work on their other tasks, but I think you also have to consider the importance of marketing and making a good trailer to make sure this game gets out to the public and so more people see this. From here, we would ride the wave of momentum from the trailer throughout January and into the month of February, all while continuing our active presence on social media. Once we get into March, we're now only 4 months away, and this is the point I would look to reveal a Hogwarts Legacy Collector's Edition. I already made a separate video, which I'll link to in the card above, about specifically what I would like to see as part of a Hogwarts Legacy Collector's Edition. And even if it doesn't have the items I want, I definitely think it would be a huge missed opportunity for this game not to have some sort of special edition with a few goodies in store for us diehard fans. For the month of April 2022, I'd try and get some sort of deep dive interview with one of the developers of the game and start doing more interviews with various video game news sites and YouTube influencers. Hey, if anyone at Avalanche or WB wants to chat a bit, feel free to reach out. Just a few questions. Not too many, that's all, I promise. As for the month of May, I'd really try and hone in on some cross-promotion with Fantastic Beasts 3. This could be in the form of a special TV advertisement that focuses on both, setting up plans to show the Hogwarts Legacy trailer in the movie theater for folks watching the movie, and maybe even throwing in a free Fantastic Beasts movie ticket for anyone who pre-orders the game. I think little things like that would go a long way, and it's a great opportunity to cross-promote between the two properties. Once June hits, we're almost there, and this is when I'd really ramp up on the online advertisements, both in the form of YouTube and Twitch ads, as well as display and web banner ads on some of the most popular Harry Potter sites, as well as video game sites. And that would take us all the way up to the month of July, which in this fun little mock example we're doing is the pretend release date for the game. Woohoo! We finally made it, guys! If you all enjoy this marketing plan, hit that thumbs up button before you go. Let WB know, hey, I'd like to see something like this. And if not, let me know down in the comments what you would like to see instead. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.